thing up. Go over here and click on this. Yeah. And see if that takes care of it. Oh, and I need to pass out the attendance sheets, don't I? So one. These don't have to be turned in until the end of class, so go ahead and keep reading. Row 2, row 3, row 4. Read fast. You don't have to understand it. Just run the words through your head. It'll help prepare you for what we're doing today in class. Ah, it popped up there, didn't it? Good. We're in business. And we're recording for the people online, and we're on page 125, topic 3.2. Let's pray. Father, help these students to understand this material. Help me to explain it well and help them to take down all the notes they need when it comes time for the test at the end of this chapter. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Page 125. So if you have to put on the attendance, no, I didn't read it because you didn't send me an email. That's my fault, so I won't penalize you, but thank you that, what did I say, 92% of you read the stuff for last time. And just reading through the pages helps prepare your mind for what we're doing. And it says here on page 125, in problems 1 through 4, let P be today is Friday. So I put P is today is Friday. And Q is today is Monday. Number 2, problem number 2. Write in words the conjunction. You know what conjunction is? You have that in your notes from last time? Pull your little note card out. What's conjunction? What is it? And. So, I go and. Now, what do I say in front of and? Today is Friday and today is Monday. That's all I'm doing. So what would be the answer to number 1 when it says write in words the disjunction of the two statements?
It'd be or.
Or, that's right. So you'd say on your homework, today is Friday or today is Monday. Now, are either one of those statements true? No, but we don't care. We don't care. We're just writing conjunctions and disjunctions. If you think about, well, that's not true, that's just going to mess with your head. So just do the work. Number 4. Which of the statements in problem 1 through 3 always has the truth value false? Now, today is Friday and today is Monday.
I don't understand what a truth table is.
Truth table?
Yeah.
I'll show you in a little bit. But question 4 says, which of the statements in 1, 2, and 3 is always false? Which of the statements is always false? Now, your answer to the first question was today is Friday or today is Monday, right? Will that always be false? Or on Friday and Monday, would that be true? You follow me? So one would not always be false. But look what the question 2 that we worked in class did. Today is Friday and today is Monday. When will today be both Friday and Monday? Never. So that one's always false. I guess we better do number 3 as well, shouldn't we? To help you with your homework. Write in words the negation of statement P. What was statement P?
Today is Friday.
So P is today is Friday. What's the negation of that?
Today is not Friday.
Today is not Friday. Will that always be true? Will that never be true? No, it'll be true 1 out of every 7 days. Okay? You follow what we're doing? Say, yeah, but I'm still wondering about this truth value stuff. Okay. We'll get to it. Let's jump down to problems 5 through 7. Now, in problems 5 through 7, G stands for he's a gentleman. S stands for he's a scholar. Everybody follow that? Now, what does number 6 tell me to do? Negate what? Negate G. So how would I negate G?
He is not a gentleman.
He is not a gentleman. Everybody follow that? So can you do 5 and 7? I mean, while you're looking at them, can you do 5 and 7? 5 is the disjunction of the two statements, and 7 is the conjunction. What's disjunction? Or. What's conjunction? And. Everybody see what to do with them? Good. In problems 8 through 10, see how every time they give us some different given information. Oh, it says in problems 8 through 10, use G and S like you did, pardon me, in problems 5 through 7. So number 8, I'm looking back at this stuff here, and what am I supposed to do for 8? Write it in symbolic. I want symbolic language to say, he is not a gentleman, nor is he, well, he is not either a gentleman or, I'll just put down what they've got here, or a scholar. Everybody follow that? Now, how do I say he's not a gentleman? He's not a gentleman. How do I say he's not a scholar? He's not a scholar. Now, he's not a gentleman. Neither is he a scholar. So do I use and or? You saw that or and said must use or. If I put or in there, I've said he's not a gentleman or he's not a scholar. You follow me? because it said he's neither, he's not either, he's neither this, nor is he that. We're saying he's not a gentleman and he's not a scholar. Everybody follow that? What throws you off is that or in there. Now, does anyone know another way to write this based on Monday's lesson?
Use parentheses.
I could put he's a gentleman or he's a scholar and he's not a gentleman or a scholar. You follow that? And what's the translation? What is he is not a gentleman or a scholar equal to? Not a gentleman and not a scholar. Remember that from the notes I gave you last time that you put on your card? All right. So that's number 8. Let's do number 10. Number 10 is he's neither a gentleman nor a scholar. It's the same thing again, isn't it? They just changed the word. He's neither this nor is he that. So he's not this and he's not that. So it's the same as number 8. Just change the words a little bit. All right. Excuse me. Let's move down to number 12. 12 through 16. What is P? MIDA is cooperative. What is Q? DESI is uncooperative. Isn't that what it says? Now, for number 12, what do they want? Write each statement in symbolic. Symbolic form. And what does number 12 say? MIDA and DESI are what? Both cooperative. Isn't that what it says? So, how do I put MIDA is cooperative in symbols? MIDA is cooperative is what symbol? P. And how do I put DESI is cooperative? What does this say?
Negative? Well,
There, that's right. Negative Q. Negate Q. Because what did Q say?
it's uncooperative.
DESI is uncooperative. So what would negate that be? DESI is cooperative. And they want me to use symbolic language, so they want me to use P and Q. Everybody follow that? Okay. Number 14. It is not the case. Remember we took that, you got that in your notes. It is not the case. I put that out in front of this parentheses. Everybody follow that? It is not the case that what? MIDA and DESI are what? Both uncooperative. Everybody follow what they're doing? So how do I put MIDA is uncooperative? It is not the case that not P. And what else do we put? And Q. Everybody see that? It is not the case that not P and Q, because not P says MIDA, P is MIDA is cooperative, not P is MIDA is uncooperative. And it's not the case that both, when you say both, that's and. All right? Number 16. Assume that MIDA is cooperative. And DESI is uncooperative. Which of the statements in problem 12 through 15 are true? Oh, I had a note to skip that one because you have to do all the problems to answer that question. So we'll move on. Sorry about that. Number 17 through 21. Now watch this. In 17 through 21, P is what?
True.
P is true. Q is what?
False.
Is false. See, how do you know? They told us that. That's how we know. Write each statement in symbolic form and find its truth value. Let's do one of yours. Number 17. Either P or Q. Isn't that what it said? Either P or Q. So I put the or symbol in there. Now if P is true and Q is false, what's the truth value of or? Oh, we haven't done that yet. Well, let's build a table. And where is that table? For or, it's on page 119. Watch how I build that table. I have two possibilities, true and true, true and false, false and true, false and false. Everybody understand that? Those are the only four choices. True and true, true and false, false and true, false and false. If I say or, if I say true or true, what does that make this or statement? True, right? If I say true or false, what does that make this or statement? If I say today is Wednesday or today is Friday, did I tell you the truth? So if it's or, if either one of them is true, it's true. So if I said today is Monday or today is Wednesday, a false and a true statement, that would be true. If I said today is Monday or today is Friday, if both statements are false, or is false. Everybody follow that? So now I've got a truth table that, and you should copy that truth table and put it on your little index card. So you know or is always true unless both P and true, unless it's false and false. Now, so that means true or false would be what? True. Now let's do number 18. Does that answer your question about this truth table thing you were asking? Did we just answer your question about truth table by building this right here?
I just have more questions.
Okay, we'll do some more and see what comes of it. All right. Number 18. No, let's do number. How come they're giving you all or problems? Well, let's just take number 17. Let's just make a new 17 and say, what if it said P and Q? P is true, Q is false. So what does that make P and Q? Now come over here. Let's do one for and. If they're both true, then that's true. If I say today is Wednesday and today is Friday, that's false. If I say today is Monday and today is Wednesday, That's false. See why? If I say today is Monday and today is Friday, that's false. So when is and true? Only when both parts are true. If one part is false and you say and, it's a false statement. So if I have true and false, what does that make it? A false statement. Everybody follow that? Now this little chart stuff should be on your card so you can look at it, because if you don't look at it when you're working these problems, you're going to get in trouble.
Do you have to have all truths for the statement to be true, or do you just have to have more truths than falses?
For and
Yeah.
to be true,
With either one, with either.
they both have to be true.
Okay.
If either one's false, and is false.
Okay.
Everybody have that?
Mm-hmm.
You might want to write that little note in your notes. Put that little explanation in there. So now let's do number 18. Now what does 18 say? P or not Q. Isn't that what it says? Number 18 says P or not Q. Okay, is P true?
Yes.
Right up here. P is true. Q is false. So what is not Q? True. So if I have true or true, what does that make the or? Makes it a true statement. Now let's change that to and. P and not Q. Is P true?
Yes.
Is not Q true?
Yes.
So that makes and true. True and true makes and true. Everybody follow that? Good. All right, what are we doing now? Problems 22 to 26. Now, see why you want that on your card? Because it goes off the screen and you don't have it anymore. You need it on your card so you can keep looking at it when we're working the problems. In problem 22 to 26, G, what is G? I go to college. What is J? I join the army. See why I use these little abbreviations? Just take the first letter from each word, because that way it boils it down to something I can look at and start to represent symbolically. Now, look what it says. Suppose that G is false, so it says this is false and J is true. Write each statement in symbolic form and find its truth value. Number 22. What does 22 say? Either I go to college or I join the army. Or, right? What's the first one? I go to college. That's G. Everybody agree? Or I join the army. That's J. Everybody follow that? Now, what's the truth value for this statement? Is G true or false?
False.
See where it said false up there? So this is false. Is J true or false?
True.
J is true. This is or. False or true? What's the truth value of false or true? True. Everybody see that? If you don't, look back at your chart. Or false, true is true. See how that works? False, true is true. Put it down there again. I keep forgetting that when I tap on the screen here, you can't see it. False, true for or is true. So if I start tapping on the screen and you say, what are you pointing at? Then just redirect me to go up to the screen and show it to you. Learning how to use this tablet. Number 24. I neither go to college nor join the army. What is going to college? G is I go to college, so not going to college would be not G, right? And if it says I neither go nor join, what's neither nor? And. And I did not join the army. J is I joined the army, so it would be not J, wouldn't it? Everybody see that? So 24 is not G and not J. Now, is G true or false?
False.
So what does that make not G? True. Is J true or false?
True.
So what's not J?
False.
False. So if I say true and false, what's the truth value for true and false?
False.
False. Everybody follow that? Number 26, it looks like it's the same kind. I do not go to college and I do not join the army. Yeah, it's the same kind of problem we just worked. So we'll move down to making truth tables. Let's do one of yours. Number 27. Just because I know I'm hurting your brain. Construct a truth table for each statement. So here's what happens. Truth table. P and Q. True and true. True and false. False and true. False and false. You always start with these because that's what you have on your little chart there. These are the four possibilities. Now watch what's going to happen. So I put this is how I build a truth table. I put this down first. Then what do I put down? P or what? Not Q. Now, what was the truth value for P? True, true, false, false. Everybody follow that? So I go over here and go true, true, false, false. Now here's the truth value for Q. What's not Q?
False. True.
If Q is true, false, true, false, what would not Q be?
False. True. False. True.
Everybody follow that? If Q is true, not Q would be false. If Q is false, not Q would be true. If Q is true, not Q would be false. If Q is false, not Q would be true. Now, we're looking at OR. You got your table handy there? So I put a column down the middle. Yeah, I'll try to make one here. For OR, true, false would be true, true would be
True. True.
false, false would be
False.
false, true would be,
True, true.
and that is what they want you to do. So there, when it says, what did it say to do? Construct a truth table. There's my truth table right there. True, true, false, true. And how do I make a truth table? I always start out with true, 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 false, false, true, false, false, and then write this down, and then put this column in, then put this column in, put this column in, and then check the truth value for whatever the conjunction is. You got that? Let's do another one. 28. What does 28 say? Doesn't matter what it says. I go true, 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 false, false, true, false, false. Then I write down what 28 says. Not, parentheses, P or Q. So, what's P? True. Move these down. Erase these and move them down a bit. True, 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 false, false, true, false, false. P is true, Q is true. What does that make this?
True.
Wait a minute. Don't I have a chart that says P or Q is going to be true, 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 false? Don't I have that in my chart already? So I don't need to copy this over, do I? Or copy this over? Or do I need to copy it to help make it clear in your mind? Is it new enough to you where I need to put the values in there? Let's put them in. True, false, false. Then put in true, false, true, false.
I have a question.
Yes.
Since they're both reversed, shouldn't they both be the reverse of the other one, after what it normally is? Since they're both not what they are?
Oh, you're talking about this out here in front?
Yeah.
Okay, now watch what happens. Here's the truth value for what's inside the parentheses. Agreed? So once I move outside the parentheses, if this is true, what would not this be?
The reverse of it.
False. If this is true, what would not that be? False. If this is true, what would not that be? And if this is false, what would not that be? And that's the truth value for this. That's the truth value for this whole statement. Does that help? That's how you work through it. You do the stuff in the parentheses, then when you have that not out in front, it negates that.
That makes a lot of sense.
But if you were to negate each one of those when you were doing this inside, because what's the negation of this based on what we learned on Monday? This is equivalent to not P and not Q. Remember that? So that's why you can't just distribute that negative throughout the parentheses like you would with the distributive property with numbers. So go ahead and make this table. And then come out here and find the truth value. Any more questions? Number 30. Oh, that's another or. 34. Yeah, 34. That looks like fun. What does 34 say? P and Q. And it's true, 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 false, false, true, false, false. Those are always the choices. And 34 says P or Q, parentheses, and not P and Q, Now, does anyone know the truth value for P and Q? Okay, see, watch. I come over here to P and I go true, true, false, false. Everyone see where I'm getting that from over here? Then for Q, I'll get it from here. True, false, true, false. Now, for and, true and true makes and what? True. True and false makes and what? False. False and true makes and false and false makes and false. Everybody follow that? Now I come over here and I negate what I had here. So how do I negate true? False. 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 Everybody follow what I'm doing? All right, let's come over here and do P or Q. Do you know the truth value for P or Q yet? I mean, do you see where after you've done enough of these, you say, I'll look at my chart, and what's the truth value for P or Q? True, 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 false. Everyone understand where I'm getting that from? If you don't, we need to talk about it. If you get it, then we move on. Now watch what we're doing. Now we're looking at this and answering this question right here. Find another color. Is that another color? Nope. Find another color. Ah, green. There we go. Now we're doing this and. True and false would be what? Look at your table. Look at your chart for and. True and false would be
False.
false. True and true would be true. True and true would be true. False and true would be false. So what's the truth value of this whole thing right here? False, true, true, false. Everybody see how we build it? Does this look like fun? Well, now that we're having so much fun, watch what happens when you get to 38. P, Q, and R. So what's my table going to look like? True, 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 false, true, false, true, true, false, false. Where am I next? False, true, true, false, true, false, 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 true, false, false, false. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. 2 to the third power is 8. So I got them all. 2,
Where are we getting the combinations for R?
Okay, see, I have true and true, and then true and false, right?
Right.
Here, I have this and this from the original
So
one.
You just have to make more combinations.
But you have to make more columns because you have to have R being true, and then with these two, R being false.
Okay.
So that's why you have so many of them here. So now we have all the possibilities for P, Q, and R. Now, what does 38 say? P or Q, or Q and R. Okay, what's Q? See the column for Q? I do the parentheses first. So I go true, true, false, false, true, true, false, false. Everybody follow where I get the Q stuff? Now, where do I get the R stuff? True, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. Everybody with me? So what goes here in the middle? When is and true?
When it's both true and true.
So I go true,
Right?
false, 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 true, false, false, false. Everybody follow that? Did I copy 38 down? No. Yeah, I did. P and. Sorry about that. Whoops. Change colors. P or Q and R. Yeah. So now I come back over here to P. And what is P? True, 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 true. 3, 4. Whoops. Line them up. True, 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 true. And then false, 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 false. And when is blue? Whoops, that's not blue. Green. When is or true? And now watch, what we're looking at now is we're looking at these two columns, the red column and this column. See how you want to draw a line to make sure you keep your eyes on the right column? So I have true and true. So what goes here? True. I have true and false. What goes here? True. For or, this is or. I have true and false. True. True and false. True. False and true. True. False and false. False. Wait a minute. Line them up. False and false, false. False and false, false. And false and false, false. See, if I'm not careful, I start to look at my first column and say, no, I'm looking at this one. This is the one I'm using for doing my work. So, what's the truth value for this whole statement? Right there. True, 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 false, false, false. Well, number 42. Let P be what? Eva is a high school graduate. And Q is what? Eva is over 16. Under which conditions is the statement Eva is neither? What does it say for 42A? Eva is neither a high school graduate nor over 16. So, not P and not Q. Neither nor, right? So neither nor means not this and not this. Agreed? So when, under what conditions is this statement true? When would this be true? When is and true? True, false, 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 right? Isn't that when and is true? So what has to be the condition here and the condition here for this statement to be true? They both need to be true. So when would this statement be true? When not P and not Q are both true. You follow that? That's when that would be a true statement. All right. Let's see. In problems, (43 through 46), use truth tables to show that the two given statements are equivalent. Let's do one of yours.
Dr. Bowler,
What?
would you like a cough drop?
No, it wouldn't do any good.
Okay.
My allergies are just acting up, so thanks for feeling sorry for me, but it's nice that I get the sympathy. 45, let's do one of yours. (45) says, not P or Q and not P Okay, let me erase this and move it up a little bit. Here's P, here's Q. True, 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 false, false, true, false, false. So P or Q, what would be the truth value here? True, false. No, or is true, pardon me. True, true, false. Everybody see where I'm getting that true, 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 false? When they're both true, it's true. When one's true and one's false, it's true. When one's false and one's true, it's true. When they're both false, it's false. So if this is the truth value of this statement, what would happen out here? What happens when I negate it? Everybody follow that? Now let's come over here. What's the value of P? Whoops, wrong color. What's the value of P? True, true, false, false. So what would be the value of not P? False, false, true, true. Everybody follow that? Then if this is Q, what's the value of not Q? If Q is true, false, what's not Q? False, true, false, true. Everybody follow that? Change colors again. So, and. False and false would be, look at your table. false, wouldn't it? False and true would be false for and. True and false would be false. True and true would be true. Does this column and this column match? So you've done what? You've used truth tables to show that the two given statements are equivalent. Those two given statements are equivalent. But you knew that already because watch. Not P or Q is equivalent to what? Not P and not Q. From the notes that we had from the other day. Well, do we have time for one more? Oh, it's no more. That's it. Stop when you get to 47. Stop when you get to 47. That'll be enough of this stuff. And do you see what I have to see on your homework? I can't just see answers. That's not acceptable. I need to see you filling this stuff out and making these truth tables. If you turn in your homework with just answers and I don't see any truth tables to see how you got it, I just will throw it away and won't give you credit for it. Okay? I mean, some of the stuff we've done, you can do it in your head. But this stuff, you have to be showing your work. All right. I'll be around to answer questions. Remember, I'll be here tomorrow during chapel time to give you back your test and help you walk through the process. Ask someone who was here on Tuesday if it's worthwhile. It's worthwhile coming in here and walking through it. It makes a big difference in what's going on.